Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're actually going to be installing a front camera in the 6.0. So I got so currently the radio's out of the truck. The new one should be here today. I got an email earlier saying it was out for delivery, but if I remember correctly, it comes with a camera. So if it does, we're going to use that camera and put in the red truck as a front camera. If it doesn't, I'm going to buy one and we're adding a front camera. Either way, we're putting a front camera in this video. So like I said, it should be in today. I don't know if I'm going to get to it today or get to start on it today. I haven't figured out quite how I want to do it on the front, but we'll figure that out. So I kind of want to see if it gets here, if it has one, and then we'll plan from there. But anyway, it might be this afternoon, it might be in a couple days or so, but we'll get started on this and we'll see what we can figure out here. Okay, guys, so while the dash is all apart, like we talked about, y'all probably have already seen that video where we put the radio in, but the new radio hadn't gone in yet, so that's kind of where we're at. But while that is out, we got a new camera that is in here. I don't think I need any of that. Anyway, we have, like I said, another backup camera. So this is the same backup camera that I have on the rear of the truck. I mean, it's not, I won't say it is the best backup camera, but it does work. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to figure out how, because this radio will do it. There's another red wire over here. I think it's a red wire that is for a front camera trigger for the radio, because the radio will do two. Yeah, it's in here. So we have a second camera. So what I'm going to try to figure out how to do, and we don't have to like run all the wiring because this does connect. And what I'm going to try to figure out how to do is take this, figure out some way of mounting it up here somewhere. I don't know where, I don't know how, but we're going to figure out some way to put this up here somewhere and try to hide it the best that I can. I know I think I seen somebody do this one time where they kind of stuck it in the grill and like zip tied it in the grill, which doesn't, I don't know, I guess it doesn't look terrible, but I would like to hide it a little bit better. So what I was almost thinking was we could mount it in here or something. We'll figure out something. Or another thing I thought about possibly doing is taking it off of the license plate mount and making like a little bracket of some sorts and then attaching it to the back side of the grill and then have the camera sticking out through the honeycomb. Because if we look, it's a little small. The honeycomb's a little small, but I think it'll work. I think we can make that work. So anyway, what I'm doing today, I don't think we're going to get to this today, but what I'm doing today is, or we're going to do that in this video, but what I'm saying is for me today, we're going to run the wiring. So we got that, and then we can get rid of this. So when the radio goes back in, we don't have to take all this back out for that. And then here in a few days, we'll go ahead and figure out what we're going to do for mounting the camera. But regardless, we have here what we need. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead, hop up in here. I'm going to grab the camera. That way I can compare. And like I said, we're going to go ahead, run everything, get everything, you know, where it's ready to be hooked up, just not hooked up. like hooked up. So if I remember correctly, this is pretty simple, and I don't know, we'll figure it out. We'll kind of temporarily hook everything up. I'll run some power around. I'll get my Milwaukee. I got a Milwaukee 12-volt little screwdriver thing. I'll take that battery and we'll kind of hook everything up temporarily. See what it needs to work, because I really don't want the lights. I just want the camera. I got plenty of headlight on this thing. Them 4 little LEDs ain't gonna make much difference. But anyway, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and get after it here. We'll see what we can figure out and see if we can add a front camera on the old 6.0 here. Okay guys, so I got the, see one of the yellow ones there, is for the front camera. I got it run through, down through here. It is that wire right there, that little one back there. But this running is sitting down here in the floor, because what I'm going to do is, like I said, I got one of these little Milwaukee batteries. I'm going to take it, plug it up, make sure everything works, and the function in the radio and all that kind of thing. So we're going to make sure all of that works, and then, well, like I said, maybe this afternoon, it's getting pretty hot, but maybe this afternoon we'll go ahead, pull the grill out. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to run it back through. It's not going to live here. I just run it through so I can test it, and then I'll run it back through. I'll pop this piece off, and then I'll run it around through here, and then follow the wiring for my light bar. I'll follow it down through the firewall and up to the front, just along with the light bar, because the light bar is mounted behind the grill. So we'll do that, but like I said, this is just temporary so I can test it and make sure that everything works. And yeah, so we'll see. I guess we'll see. All right, so I enabled the front camera in the radio, and well, it's on. So it's upside down. I think I'm holding the thing upside down too, so not really that big a deal, but it does work. So we should be good. And then to switch, all you gotta do is hit rear camera, and then it goes to the rear camera. So we're good to go there. Now, like I said, I just got to run everything through. I got to find a power source for the camera somewhere up here, which shouldn't be, it shouldn't be that big a deal. So, like I said, shouldn't be that big a deal. But anyway, and I got to figure out how that I want to do it, because I don't know. Let me test that real quick, because I don't know if you hook power up to it, if the light stays on or not, because that would look kind of goofy going down the road if the light's on. But I'm going to try that out, and what I'll do is I'll come in here and I'll set it to rear camera right there, and we'll test it and see if the light comes on, or if it just comes on when it's commanded to be on. Alright guys, so it is actually a few weeks later. Now, y'all seen we pre-wired the radio for the front camera, and we run the wiring into this little cubby. That way we don't have to pull this big bezel back off, or the radio back out. So, we got the camera here, and we're going to go ahead and start getting this guy mounted. So I've been looking, trying to figure out how I want to do this, and the issue is this camera has 4 LEDs. Now, I didn't want those to run, but if the camera has power, they are on. So that's not, it's not real great. Now, I do have a light bar that has a second feature, which is daytime running light. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to mount it, and then our power wire here, we're going to run to the daytime running light in the light bar. That way, if I want the camera, I can just hit this little button right here, and as you can see, the daytime running light's not super bright. And then that will power the camera, and we'll be good to go. So, yeah, that's what we're gonna do, and I think we should be plenty fine doing that. So, another thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take the camera itself off of the license plate bracket because we're not gonna use it. What we're actually gonna do is there is the camera, there's a swivel bracket, and then the license plate bracket. So we're gonna save the swivel bracket and just take it off of the license plate bracket here, and then we can use this screw hole to mount this to the upright for the header panel. So I'm gonna take me a little Phillips. We're gonna take this off of here, and we're gonna go ahead and start getting the grill out. We need to take this wiring, run it up, down, and behind the grill, and try to make it nice and neat, because I do not want to see any wires. That is always my goal with stuff, and I just hate stuff looking like it was an afterthought. So, and that's also why this has taken me a while, because I've been trying to figure out how I want to do it and make it look like it belongs or like it isn't seen at all, and that is the goal. So anyway, like I said, we're gonna get this off of here just like so, and then we'll use this hole, or one of these holes, to mount this like so, and then we should be golden, or that's the idea anyway. So anyway, let's hop out here. We'll get the grill off the truck and whatnot, and I will also show y'all what I was talking about. Let me grab everything that I need here. I need this. All right. So again, and I'll turn the DRL on for the light bar. So as you can see there, it's not super bright. And I think we're going to mount this little camera, and again, it'll be behind the grill, so that should be nice. It's gonna suck if it gets dirty. I didn't think about that. It is what it is though. I don't want it to be sticking out here or something crazy. So we're gonna mount this back here to this centerpiece, back here behind the grill. And if we center it, this is perfectly centered in this honeycomb. So if we mount it high enough, and I'll try to wipe some of that dirt off, and I'll mark that too. But if we do this high enough, we can get it in one of these two honeycombs, and it should stick out. Or it shouldn't be in the way. So it's not going to protrude. I mean, it's like just bigger than the honeycomb itself, as you can see. The camera will focus. It's just taller, which is fine because I don't want it to stick out. But I want it to be just behind the grill. So I'm going to grab a Sharpie. We're going to mark this, and I'll go ahead. We'll get the grill out of the truck. And yeah, I'm kind of excited to see how all this works out. Now the wiring will run through the grommet down there. We'll get it run through there. I'm not going to bore y'all with that and running it through the dash and all that kind of thing. It's pretty straightforward, but it is kind of a pain. So it is a pain to film for sure, but regardless, we'll get the grill out of this guy, which is super simple. You got 4 screws on top, clips on the bottom. If you watch the channel, you probably know this by now because we've had this grill out of this truck about 19,000 times already. So anyway, I'm gonna get after it here, and we'll get this out of here and go ahead and start mounting our camera. Okay guys, so we got the grill off the truck, and we got the camera mounted. So I had to take the bracket off, flip it to get the wires to come out the top, and I wanted to be able to swivel it down if we need to. So flip the bracket around, added some little spacers. Now we'll take these back off and we'll paint them black. That way you can't see them. But we're just kind of test fitting everything to make sure everything is good. Drilled a hole in the top here because this will be covered. And it has to be big enough for these ends. So we got those run out. And then what we'll do is we'll tuck them up in here. That way you can't see them. So that'll be nice there. But this, our red, is the power ground, which again, we're going to run into here, behind here with our light bar wire. And we're going to tie into this DRL like I mentioned. So that connector, this wire actually runs down behind here, up and through, if you can see my finger, and into there, and then there is the connector. So we'll tie into that, and then we should be good to go there. So anyway, we're making progress. The next thing I want to do before we do this is I want to connect the power and ground, and then we'll run from inside out to here to see if we need to cut this wire. This blue wire is for the image reverse, so we may need to cut this. That way everything is the right orientation. We'll just have to see. So anyway, we'll get those run out here and kind of, you know, dry fit everything, and then if everything works, and matter of fact, I might have some black washers over there, so we might not have to paint these. We'll see. I think I do though, from powder coat and stuff. So if so, we'll use the powder coated black ones, and then that way there won't be just the ever so slightest little bit of silver showing behind the grill. We did test fit the grill. The grill does fit perfectly. There's not a bunch of adjustment in this. To get more adjustment in it, what we'll have to do is kind of notch out the honeycomb, because where we have this is right in this top honeycomb right here. So it does catch the back of it. We can notch out, not cut it out, but just kind of notch out some of this material in here, and we should have more adjustment if we need it. So anyway, like I said, we're gonna get in here. We'll start running our wires out, and go ahead and kind of test power everything, see how everything works, how we like it, and whatnot. So I need to get this off of here and disconnect all of this stuff, and go ahead and start running everything. Now this thing keeps falling off. I want to fix that while we're here too. We need to notch out a little more material in here because it is hitting one of our addifuses. So we'll do that while we're in here as well. But anyway, I'm gonna get these disconnected, get this out of the way, and well, we might not have to do that. I might can come from in here and get everything. So anyway, we'll get our camera wire, which is this guy here. We'll get it run and then through the firewall into the engine bay. Okay guys, so we are all finished up. Now, I did tie this in here, and I'm gonna get some loom. I actually have some ordered. That's nice, but for right now, we got this just kind of here. And that's why we left it out too, because again, I got loom coming. That'll clean that up, and we'll clean some of this up too. But regardless, we're finished. Now, these do run kind of through here, down, and whatnot. The wiring is tucked under here. The only bit of wire you can see is this little piece here. So that's that. Oh, there's a grasshopper. But regardless, we did get the grill on. We didn't have to space it out any. And well, it's mounted. So it is touching the grill. I can get my fingernail between the gap. So can't really adjust it again unless we kind of notch out the back side of one of these. But regardless, it's there. So if we come in here, I'll show y'all how we power the camera. Turn the DRL on the light bar. And again, I can run the DRL down the road because it's not super bright. And then that also powers the camera. So pretty nice. And then again, if it's off, you can barely tell it's there. Which is how I like it. My light bar is kind of the same way. You know, if you're looking for it, you can see it. But just walking by, I mean, you really can't tell unless you get, you know, here. And then you can kind of see the camera. But I didn't want it to be too far in, so it kind of worked out. Because now, if the camera gets dirty, you can just grab you a microfiber, walk up here, clean the camera, and you're good to go. Back on the road. So that is nice. Now I will hop in here and I will show you all how this works with the radio, because the radio has dual inputs. So the wire running from the radio out has a power, and then the camera has a power, which is interesting. And it also has a ground. We didn't even have to hook the ground up because it works without it, which is also interesting. We don't need that. I might powder coat that and we'll use it. But anyway, so turn DRL on, green light. Come over here and camera, rear. Then it switches to the rear camera, and then front camera switches to the front. So you can see there, pretty nice. So I'm gonna back this thing out of here, and we'll see what we look like in the daylight, because I was kind of interested to see how that works. And also, at some point, we do need to hook up the reverse trigger for the backup camera, because currently, with the truck in reverse and it doesn't come on, you have to command camera. But the reverse trigger is ran into here as well as the park brake, like, safety thing. So we'll hook all that up at some point. But as far as the camera goes, it is nice. Now we could have cut the guideline wire, and we might still do that. If I want to do that, it's very easy to do. All I gotta do is pop the grill back out, cut that wire, tape it up, and we're good. We did have to do that with the image reverse because the image was flipped around. Like if there was something over here on the camera, it was over here. So we did cut those, but as you can see, very nice. I like it. Now you can see the grill a little bit in the camera, which is, you know, interesting. But we're gonna pull up here to the 300 and see how effective this is, because that is very nice. Now looking at that from in here, yeah. So we're about, my grandpa's saying we're about 6 inches from the car. So I would say that's nice. And then looking at it from here, you know, you look like you're about to destroy this car. So I think that'll be nice. It'll also be nice for, you know, parking, pulling this thing in the shop, that kind of thing. Because the shop is kind of small for this truck. So a lot of times we have to get real close to stuff for the door to shut. So anyway, I'm going to pull up to the blue truck now, and we're going to kind of see. I'm going to try to get distances down, looking through the camera and that kind of thing. But I just figured it would be real nice to have for getting like real close to stuff. All Alright guys, so we just made it back. I took this thing for a little test drive and was kind of messing with this. I like it. Now, I will say, could be a little better quality as far as like picture quality goes with the camera. But again, this is just a cheap camera. I think I looked and you can get them on Amazon for like 30 bucks, which is pretty cheap for a camera in my opinion. So that's just kind of that. Now, if we go into this and it goes, yes, there we go. So if we turn this on, we have our camera. If I come over here and I turn this off, it goes into no signal detected for the front camera, which, you know, that's nice. Because if you ever have an issue, all you gotta do is turn it off. And when you turn it on, the lights come on, like I've mentioned. I didn't want to look at them all the time, so that also kind of works out as well. That I can completely kill the camera when I want to. Because again, I don't want to look at the lights. I don't. Especially if this thing's driving down the road or whatever, I don't want those to be on. So it just kind of works out that I had this light bar and then I could do this. And again, it's sleek, it's nice, and again, you can see the lights there. And if we come back in the truck, probably should have thought about that before I locked the door, but come back in the truck, hit the button, turn it off, turn the DRL off in the light bar, and now you can just barely tell unless you know what you're looking for. And then you get up, you know, here you can't see at all because of the grill. This is eye level, so, or well, this is eye level for me, but you can't see it at all because it's tucked up under the grill shell. So I like that, and that's why we put it in the very top instead of this one. I figured if I put it in this one, you'd be looking at this, and that hides it better. So that's I think that is a win in my opinion. So y'all let me know down below in the comments, what do you think? And I'll keep y'all updated with how I like it. This was like a super last minute idea. But again, you know, like from here, you can barely see it if you even know what you're looking for. So pretty happy with that. And again, I'll keep y'all updated with how it works and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, guys, I think that's going to be a wrap for this one. I may or may not have done a donut in the field. But I'm going to go down here. We're going to lock the shop up, call it a day, because it is getting pretty warm. But this is the same camera that I have on the back. But this one has the bracket and everything. So it actually come with the radio. But anyway, guys, like I said, I think that's going to be a wrap for this one. So if y'all enjoyed today's video or found it helpful, please drop a like and comment down below. Smash that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope everybody has a great day.